Hello, Women Making Marriages Work. Hello, Making Relationships Work podcast and YouTube. I'm so happy to be back with you tonight. We are going to do a live on a topic I have somewhat covered before. And when I say what it is, you're going to say, aha, that makes sense to me. We're going to do a Facebook Live on fake it till you make it and how much I hate that advice. I hate that advice. And we're going to talk about what to replace that with. So here's why I hate fake it till you make it. Because you know what? I've started straight away. I just launch right in to why I hate it. Let's talk about how setting that up as your kind of hashtag for yourself or your moniker, your way of kind of handling things. You know, the very act of saying fake it till you make it means you're nervous. It means you're worried, you're upset, you don't feel like you've got the skills or the strengths that you need to get through what you consider something adverse or tricky or stretchy. Yeah. And so you repeat to yourself, fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. Now, that's kind of like cheering on yourself, but without giving yourself any kind of new skills or compassion, and I mean self-compassion. There's no skills, there's no compassion, there's no validity for noticing where you are and what you're trying to do. It's kind of like trying to push through something. Do you see? Instead of stopping a minute and saying, wow, my love, you're about to try and do something that you don't know if you can do. You're feeling really worried about it. That makes sense to me. I get how you might feel like that. Okay. And so that is an entirely different internal conversation than fake it till you make it. Just get in there and just pretend. Do you see? Do you want to pretend, or do you want to really connect with where you are right in that moment and give yourself kind of some kind of hug or some sense of I got you, or I notice you, and it's okay, and we're going to be fine? So fake it till you make it is a big no-no in my world. It's a no-no because it does what society does, which is skim over the hard stuff. Just skim right over it. Put a filter on that. We'll just put something on it so we don't have to look at it. We'll just fake it till you make it. Just make yourself look kind of nice. Show up there and sort of say the right things and just pretend that everything's fine. And my loves, I am not here for that. It makes zero sense to me why anybody would use that as a strategy. Why would you pretend that you don't know how to do something or that you got it all covered? Where is the power in that? The power lies in, I don't understand how that works. Could you talk me through it? I'm not sure of where to begin. What's a good starting point? I'm feeling vulnerable right now. Can you help me with some words of encouragement? Do you see the difference? Fake it till you make it is terrible advice. It's not deeply connected. It's not anchored into the ground or the strength of remembering your past experiences and how you were successful in adversity or during tough or stretchy times. It is a Instagram filter, which is trying to make you look like you got it when you haven't got it. And it is undoing you. And it is undoing your marriage. You haven't got it if you haven't got it. And no amount of faking it is going to give you a long-term solution. It might give you a short-term solution, but let me tell you, you are going to pay for that fakery. Fakery is the very worst thing you can use as a strategy. Let's not fake it till we make it, because the make it, what even is the make it? Until you've figured out how to do it, And then you just bank those skills and you don't even get to show somebody or show yourself that you learnt it because you've hidden it the whole way with, like, I already got this, I already know how to do this. And so when you get to that time of accomplishment where you actually do know how to do it, you don't get to sit in the strength of what you've just done because you pretended you had it the whole way. It's like getting a participation ribbon when you deserve to come last and not have a ribbon. You know you don't deserve that ribbon. And then when you get the ribbon, it makes you feel even worse. And so, my friends, quit the fake it till you make it. This veneer, right? This faux marble veneer that you put on yourself and pretend it's real marble is ridiculous. It's not working and it does you harm. Your opportunity here is vulnerability, skill seeking, mentorship seeking, clarity seeking, being open enough to say, I don't know how this works, but I do know that I've been able to figure out hard things before and I'm really resourceful, so I'll figure it out again. Feeling nervous about this thing that I've got to do, this thing at work, this thing as a community leader, this thing in parenting, this thing in my marriage. I'm nervous about it. It's a new skill to me. And this apprehension that I'm having is a part of the normal learning process. And it's okay to talk about. And it's okay to get it wrong because that's where I learn from things. These are the real parts of learning that we deny ourselves to access to when we skim over the top of it with the disconnect from what it feels like to be you and just fake it till you make it. It's terrible advice. And it's terrible for your self-esteem. And it's terrible for your kids watching you learn and then modeling how they approach hard things. And it's terrible for your marriage, where you go out in public and you look one way and you come home and you have the opposite, and the dissonance that causes you wreaks havoc on your self-esteem, wreaks havoc on the energy, the positive energy you have in your marriage. And you end up being even more disconnected and lonely, but you've got some nice pictures for the Christmas card this year. Terrible ideas. Next Christmas, no one's going to want to do the card with you. Do you see? Faking it till we make it is a terrible strategy. So here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to face it till you make it. Not fake it. Face it. Face it till you make it. You know what that means? It means walking towards the pain, not running away, not filtering, being able to name it, to be able to say it, to be able to think about, what do I need right now? What resources, what skills, what love, what connection, what level of comfort? How do I meet those needs? Where do I go to get what I'm missing? Because let me tell you, you will figure it out. You will be successful from that place. Much more successful than face it till you make it, fake it till you make it. You'll be so much more successful. And on the other side, you get to share around the dinner table with your family. I just did this thing and I didn't know if I could do it, and I did it. And I feel amazing. And that as modeling for your kids is like 100 trillion billion times better, because they got to see the vulnerability. They got to see the resourceability. That's not really a word. The resourcefulness, there we go, that you used to be able to go and do and investigate and research and find the person that you needed to learn from in order to become or to resolve this situation. You faced it until you made it. You didn't try and filter. You didn't try and avoid. You didn't try and kind of tiptoe around. You just kind of owned yourself. You owned yourself. You talked about what it felt like to be you. You did it from a place of growth and wisdom and how do I move from here to here? And that, my friend, is what being a wise woman is all about. You face it till you make it. And you set the terms of what making it is, by the way, not somebody else. But that's a whole story for another day. And so if you're thinking about, well, how do I face this? You're here because your marriage isn't working, right? How do I face my marriage? Well, you're going to watch my masterclass. That's the first thing. There are 5 steps in there that are new skills for you to learn. Those new skills allow you to start to show up differently. When you show up differently, you get to have a different experience of life. That's the beginning of your self-leadership and your leadership in your marriage. So you're going to watch the masterclass. Then, if you want to, you're welcome to book a free call with me and my team. We're going to get you really clear on what's not working and what is working, what you've been faking and what you need to face, essentially, is what we're going to do. And in the facing, as we work out what that is for you and your marriage, which is specific to you, which is why we do a call, we're going to get you really clear on what the strategy is. When you're clear on what the strategy is, you've got everything, because clarity is the most important place to start any kind of problem solving. So that's what we're going to do. And so, my friend, do not fake it anymore. I cannot bear the thought of you faking it anymore. No more filters, no more tiptoeing, no more avoidance, no more. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to give yourself the gift of learning how to face it, learning how to look in the mirror and see yourself with all your flaws, with all your problems, with all your pain, and accept where you're starting from. Essentially, accept yourself. And then we get resourceful. What do we need to build? Where do we go to get it? Yes? So the first thing you're going to do is watch the masterclass. That is a good map. Then, if you want to, you're welcome to book a call. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay, I'll put the links in below so you know how to find those 2 things. And your decision is face it, not fake it. And you got to notice when you're faking it, it's kind of become one of those automatic things now where you just think, I don't want to look like this, I want to look like this. Click of a button, there's a nice filter. No more of that. That has not served you. You're in crisis. Your marriage is in crisis. Your children's experience of what their family is going to be is in your hands. There's no more time for filters. Your filters haven't worked. It's no more time for faking it. It's time to face it. So grab my hand. Let's face it together. Watch the masterclass, book a call. Let's do this. Much love to you. You can do this. You got this. I believe in you. Talk to you soon.